Hello everyone, I'm Devon and I'm going to share with you how to make the best fried chicken dinner. We're going to make some of my homemade gravy and it's going to be so good, y'all. So these are the ingredients. We have our chicken there, and our chicken we have rinsed it and dried it off and put it in our bowl. We have our potatoes that we have cut up and gotten ready. We have some chicken bouillon we're going to use to make our gravy. We have some corn, some string beans. So first we're going to get started though with getting our string beans in the pot. I have a couple of pieces of thick cut bacon. I've cut that, put it in there and sauteed it. And I also have about a third a cup of white onion, about a third of a white onion that I've chopped up and also put in my pan. I'm going to let that simmer while we work on our chicken. So I have in my bowl here 1 egg that I have scrambled or I have beaten up really well, and we're going to add that on top of our chicken. Okay, I'm going to share with you what's going to happen with that nice 1 egg beaten on that chicken, what's going to end up happening with that. Now also we're going to have our seasonings that we're going to use. We're going to be using our nature seasoning, which is a blend of black pepper, garlic and onion powder. And of course, we're going to use some Lawry seasoning salt, because in my family, it is not fried chicken unless you put some Lawry seasoning salt on it. Now, what we want to do is we want to mix around and make sure that that chicken gets coated with that egg. You see how it's going to be nice and glistening just like that? You want to mix that chicken all around top to bottom, just like I'm doing. Now, once we do that, then we want to start on our seasoning. I start first with the Nature's Blend, and we're just going to go on and put a nice sheen coat, because we're also going to be using our Lawry's too. So you want to put a nice sheen coat. And what you want to do is you just want to put enough seasoning on your chicken where you see that nice even layer. Okay, and you want to season both sides of your chicken. You want to make sure that you don't under season your chicken, and you definitely don't want to over season your chicken. And how you make sure that you don't do that is that you're just going to do a nice sheen, like a nice little sheen when you have a nice little even coat. Okay, you don't want it too heavy, because then then you've over seasoned your chicken. And so also while I'm doing this, I have on my stove, I have my skillet that I have a nice big pan, and we're going to pan fry our chicken. I have a nice big pan, and I've got my oil. Now with your pan, you want to put your oil about a third of the way full for your pan. All right, and so that's what we need. You need about a third of the way up on the side of your pan when you're going to fry your chicken. And the reason why you want to be mindful of that is because when we put our chicken in our pan to fry it, the oil is going to rise up as we put that chicken in there. So you want to be mindful of that. Now, what I like to do is, this is something that we grew up doing, that my mom did and my aunties did, my sister. We always put our chicken inside of a bag. And actually, old school, back in the day, we used to use a paper bag, and we just would put the flour in the paper bag like that, and then we would shake the chicken. But new school way, I just put my flour inside of a freezer bag, or just like a plastic bag like I'm using, and then we just put our chicken in there. We're going to shake it. The reason why we always like to do this is because we get a nice good coating on that chicken. When you put it in the bag and you shake it, you get a nice good coating. Now I'm going to go on and wash my hands up real good, and then we're going to check to see how our onions and our bacon is doing, and then see if it's time for us to go on and add our string beans to the pot, because we want to get our string beans going before we start frying our chicken, because we want our string beans to be nice and tender, y'all. Okay, and so I'm looking here. I've got my potatoes are going. I've got the bacon has really started to reduce down. The onion have become nice and soft. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of water to my pot, so that way I'm going to bring up that fond that is at the bottom of the pot from that bacon. We're going to go on and bring up the fond. I'm going to go on and add the balance of my water, and that's about 2 cups total of water that I'm putting in my pot. Then after I do this, I'm going to go on and add in my string beans, so my string beans can start getting going as well. I know my oil has gotten nice and hot, and so once we get these string beans on, y'all, and we get those going, We're going to go on and put on our chicken so we can start frying. And this is a total meal, y'all. So we are multitasking here with our potatoes boiling, our string beans, we've got those going. And so now I want to shake up and mix up really good our chicken that we put, our nice seasoned chicken. And so you want to shake it just like I'm doing, because we want to fully coat it. And like I said, I always put a little extra flour because I was taught to do that. So that way we have plenty of flour. So that way our chicken can be nice and coated. So in my pan, I'm using some vegetable oil. And you see when you put your chicken in, you want it to start to sizzle and fry just like this. That's when you know your oil is nice and hot. As soon as you put your chicken in, it's going to start to fry up, and you're going to see all these bubbles from your oil, from your frying pan. If it doesn't start to do that, don't put your chicken in. It means that your oil is not ready if it does not start to sizzle and fry and you see these bubbles. Growing up, I used to watch my mom fry chicken, and she told me, Devon, when you're frying your chicken, if you put your chicken in and it doesn't start to boil and it doesn't start to fry, she said your oil not hot enough. That's pretty much what she would tell me. And my mom, she could fry some chicken, y'all, and she could fry some fish. And frying fish, that's going to be a video for another day. I'll share with y'all how my mom would fry her fish too. So, but we are working on our chicken. We're working on our nice fried chicken dinner for the family tonight. And once it gets to looking like this, you're going to go in and rotate your chicken over just like I was doing, and go in and do it a nice flip just like that. Now I have my pan is on a high heat. You want to have it on a nice high flame when you're doing your chicken, okay? And then we're checking on our string beans. Our string beans are looking good. They are boiling nicely. They're going to end up being nice and tender. And so this is what our chicken is looking like right now. Do you see how that beaten egg that we put on our chicken, that we coated it with, is going to give us this nice, crispy, delicious crust on our chicken. And it is just something where we just need that one egg. That crispiness is coming from our oil being nice and hot, that one beaten egg, and us really coating our chicken with some flour. We didn't use cornstarch or anything like that. All we did, y'all, was just use that one beaten egg. And then we also use that nice hot oil we have, and we coated our chicken. And you see how beautiful golden brown our chicken is. It just looks so good. And so what I do is I have a pan, and on my pan I have some paper napkins, and I'm going to put all of my chicken that I'm frying, I'm going to let it go on and drain on my paper napkins, because we're going to get ready to cook the second batch. And some tips to know: when your chicken is done, when your fried chicken is done, it's going to be a nice golden brown, okay? When you're using your tongs like I'm using, when you go to pick it up as you've been turning it, it's going to go from being soft to being nice and firm. So your meat's going to be nice and firm. Your pan-fried chicken is going to cook about 12 to 14 minutes per side, okay? So during that 12 and 14 minutes on one side, and the same on the second side of that chicken, all right? Now, if your chicken starts to get too brown and you start to have a lot of browning spots on it where it's almost starting to burn, that means your fire is a little bit too high. Turn your fire down some low, or either what you can do is, as you're flipping your chicken, rotate your chicken around your pan. And when your chicken is cooking, that 12 to 14 minutes is not continuous on that one side. You're going to rotate it throughout that time period. So you might do about 4 to 6 minutes on the side and rotate your chicken, 4 to 6 minutes on the other side, and you're going to go on and rotate your chicken and flip it again. And so that's how you're going to get a nice even cooking of your chicken and have your chicken just cook perfectly. Now our potatoes are ready to be mashed. I'm using my potato masher. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returner, welcome back. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. It is totally free. And on my channel, I enjoy sharing my kitchen and my stories with you as I cook for the family and I bake for the family. So I invite you to become one of my wonderful subscribers. And if you are liking this video and appreciate the content, show it some love and give it a thumbs up. Now, the potatoes that I am using today are white potatoes. You can use white potatoes, russet potatoes, or Yukon Gold potatoes. I like to use actually white potatoes when I make my mashed potatoes. I just like the consistency that I can get, especially when I'm using my potato masher. Also, when I'm boiling my potatoes, I put about a teaspoon of salt in my water when I am boiling the potatoes because it really helps to season and flavor the potatoes as the potatoes are boiling and they're cooking. Also, when I put with my potatoes, I put a couple of tablespoons of butter, and then I use half and half when I'm making my potatoes. I either use half and half, or either I use whole milk. I usually like using one of those two when I'm mashing my potatoes, but half and half is usually my go-to. Now, once my potatoes are at this stage, they're nice and creamy, we're gonna put the top on. Our second batch of chicken should be almost ready. I'm going to go on and whip us up some gravy first. And this is how you make some nice good gravy to go with those mashed potatoes. We're going to be using a half a stick of butter, and I'm using unsalted butter. So you want to use a half a stick of butter, and that's the same as a fourth of a cup. And you're also going to use a fourth of a cup of flour. And then once your butter is melted, you put your flour with your butter and you move it around the pan just like I'm doing, because you want to make sure that you're blending in that flour and that butter together. You're going to make like a thin little paste like I'm doing. It's going to be a nice thin little paste, just like get this nice peanut butter color. And you're going to continue. And this time we're going to use our whisk. We're going to take because you want to go butter mixture using a spoon, cream and I like to use a nice peanut butter. You're going to go from using a spoon until you get to that nice peanut butter color, and it's been sizzling and cooking like this, and you're going to get those bubbles in there just like that. And I'm pouring in 2 cups of chicken broth. And the chicken broth, I made the chicken broth by using the chicken bouillon. And the chicken bouillon, I just followed the directions on the back of the package to make myself some chicken broth. And this is 2 cups that we're using. So it's going to be those equal parts of the butter, which was a fourth a cup, and the flour, which was a fourth a cup. Take it from that cream color. You want to continue to mix it around into your pan till it goes from that cream color to that peanut butter color. And then once you get to the peanut butter color is when I changed over to the whisk, and then we added in that 2 cups. Okay, we're going to taste it for some seasoning and flavor. It's tasting good. We're going to let our gravy continue to simmer so it can thicken up. Our second batch of chicken is ready. Let's go on and plate us up some nice dinner, y'all. And so this is our nice fried chicken dinner. We have our beautiful mashed potatoes and gravy. We have that beautiful fried chicken. We have some corn, and we put some butter on that corn, y'all. We have our wonderful string beans that we also made there. It is looking so good. But of course, we have got to give the star of this meal a try. That right there, y'all. Go on and take a bite of that nice piece of chicken. Okay, I'm going to go on and take a bite and see how we did. Oh my goodness, y'all. This right here, oh, we did so good on this fried chicken, y'all. It is tasting so good. It is nice, crispy, delicious. It is so juicy and moist in the middle. Oh my goodness, that fried chicken right there, y'all. Oh, okay, but we got to taste our mashed potatoes with this homemade gravy. Our little butter corn we have. I'm going to get us some string beans. Okay, y'all, that's your vegetables. Go and take your bite. I'm going to try it. Yes. Mashed potatoes and gravy. These mashed potatoes are nice and smooth, y'all. Buttery, delicious. That gravy that's the next level right there. Making that gravy. You see what that gravy is looking like with those mashed potatoes? Wow. Y'all, this is a complete meal. My family is sitting at the table. They are enjoying dinner. I'm sharing my plate with y'all. You know, I always say if you can do a good fried chicken and a good baked chicken and a good roast chicken, hey, right there, you can master those 3 meals, let me tell you. And to go along with dinner tonight, I made a banana pudding for dessert. Oh, the family is spoiled, y'all. And if you have not seen that vlog yet, I will go on and put it in the description box. I'll put a link to that video in the description box below. I'll also put a link to my roast chicken video as well as my baked chicken video in the description box below. And I will also have a list of the ingredients you need to make this delicious fried chicken dinner for your family. Well, that is it for me today, y'all. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click share this video with a friend or a family, and click that notification bell so you never miss a video when I share a video of what I'm cooking in my kitchen. And remember, it's always good when Devon is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.